Hello, everybody. It's time to get comfortable. Cuddle up to somebody next to you, or just get a cup of tea because it's tea time. Yeah, that actually sounded bad when I said it. I'm still trying to work on that intro. However, as you can see, right before this video, I actually got an opening now. Hope you liked it. It took me a while to get some of the clips and some of the stuff. And just to pick the right music. I think that music works, but we'll see. Um, like I said, and I now got a new closer too because, as you can see, I got a new catchphrase, ending catchphrase, and it was right in that opening. In case you didn't see it, you will know at the end of this thing. Um, I know I didn't post anything yesterday, and I did have the opener done yesterday, but that's because I actually had nothing to talk about. And I'm not going to do these if I have nothing to talk about, so I'm going to try to get them out every day. If I don't, it's because at that day I didn't have anything to talk about. But don't worry, the next 3 days I got topics galore, so we'll be okay. Today's topic was going to be something totally different, but then one of my favorite people to talk to on Twitter or even watch her videos, Liana K. Again, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm no good sometimes in these. Posted something really interesting to her Twitter. It's actually 12 ways to detox gaming culture or whatever, because if you don't know by now, there is a cultural war within gaming, and that's between the people affectionately called, I'm not even going to mention that name, sorry, even though I did mention it in my last one. We were just called them GGers for now, and anti-GGers, which everybody calls aggros for some reason. I understand the terminology from a gaming perspective. When an aggro is something that comes at you in like an MMO or any other type of games that attacks your party. There you go. Don't tell me you don't learn anything in these. And it fits with the anti-GG because they're aggroing, and I have problems with both groups, as is well documented in this video series. But she posted 12 steps, and yes, I'm going to read them from my phone, so I'm sorry in advance, because there's a couple steps in here that I actually want to talk about. Okay. So number 1, stop saying the consumers are evil. This is the only industry where and it's not even like, and it is companies too. It is game companies. It's game developers. It's a lot of people are saying that they're the consumers, and it's the only industry that I know of that says their consumers are evil. Comic books don't do it. Movies don't do it. Soda pop don't even do it that way. So I mean, there's some speculation about the whole Coke Pepsi thing. So, but let's keep rolling, because have an open, respectful, reciprocal relationship between press and develops based on merit, not friendships. Self-explanatory. Number 3, don't reward sites that consistently attack gamers or game companies, even if they get a lot of traffic. This one I actually did want to talk about for a little bit, because this works both ways actually, and I hate to say this, GameGate people, GGers. Yes, I did say the name. I'm sorry. I do apologize. GGers. There is this. This actually works. This actually works against you as well. And what I think, to me, when it says don't reward sites that constantly attack gamers or game companies, is look what you're doing with stuff that you think you're against, like Kotaku, Gawker, all those type of things. You're actually rewarding them when you're going after them right now. And this is the thing that I've always said from the beginning, even though I probably didn't document it on here. If you just shut up about this stuff will go away. And that's actually both sides of the equation. Number 4, recognize that specialty press matters because mainstream media gives gaming last priority in the arts section. That's true. Um, and most of the time, games are not even present in the newspaper. To tell you the truth, they're not even present. If it is, it's about how much of a line there was at a release party or stuff like that. Step 5. Make it clear that award shows do not exist to mock the consumer. Mocking the consumer should be understood to be inappropriate. Like I said, this is the only industry that has an award ceremony that mocks its consumers. I don't know why video game companies, and it's video game companies too, it's video game companies, video game devs, gaming journalism that do mock their consumers. And I showed you the award ceremony the other day that Tim Schafer was a part of, and had that mock puppets and stuff like that is wrong, and it's continuing this culture war that we're in, and it doesn't have to be a culture war. Recognize that traditional coverage and YouTube both have their place, both are good. Yeah, actually, I would say that while both are good, the traditional coverage is actually losing a lot of ground to YouTube because YouTube can get personalities out there and people don't have to sit and read. From what I've seen, people would rather watch than read, especially books and stuff like that. So, step 7, give games coverage back to being coverage about games, not stupid personal scandals. That is self-explanatory. I don't know why it's not self-explanatory, but it is. And it's getting to the point where I don't go to any sites, actually. To tell you the truth, I don't go to gaming sites anymore. All the news that I get from YouTube personalities or Twitter or Facebook now, or just going down to my GameStop store. And yes, I know GameStop is evil, whatever. I got friends that work there, and I will continue to go there and talk to them and get the scoops on games that that are cool, that I think are going to be good. In fact, that's how I noticed that Dragon Age Inquisition was coming out, and then when I found out that it was coming out, I'm like, when's this game released? And it helps build up stuff like that. Let's see here. 8. Adopt truly global analytics. Stop using services that give American-hosted companies an edge. I'm lost on that one. Sorry. 9. Criticize marketing as marketing and not a basis of assumption about politics of a game. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to go finish this, and I'm going to go back to step 9 because I got a lot to talk about on that one. So, step 10. Treat games as games. Don't analyze them with tools for film, television, or books without some adaptation of factors in the gameplay. This has to do with game companies and stuff like that. And sadly, a lot of game companies need to learn that, but there are a lot of good stuff. So, let's see here. And then she got 2 more steps in here, and I actually want to go through them because they're actually thing. I'm going to come back to this one too after 9. Before you criticize writing, read it. Before you criticize a comment, hear the original. Before you criticize a game, play it. And number 12, don't be an a-hole. I'm not even gonna like she actually used some swear words in there, and I appreciate her swearing, but I'm trying to keep it clean. So let's go back to number 9 for a second, and if you don't remember what that was, number 9 was criticize marketing as marketing and not a basis of assumption about politics of a game. This goes back to one of my main beefs with this whole GG thing and the whole thing to begin with. If this would have happened a couple years ago, when two major things happened, I would have been totally on board with this movement, and I think my neutrality probably would have been compromised a lot. And that's the whole thing with IGN and what is called, I guess, Doritos Gate or whatever. And that's when they were talking about Halo 3, I think. It was either Halo 1 or 2 or 3. And they were just surrounded with Mountain Dew and Doritos. That made no sense to me. That is one of the first things that I started saying, well, games journalism is corrupt. And then when I started thinking about it, this thing happened. I forget the site's name. I think it was 1UP or GameSpot, or I think it was GameSpot. Fired one of the writers because the writer gave Kate Lynch 2 a really bad review when Kate Lynch advertising was all over the site. And that's the thing. Don't criticize marketing as marketing. I would go one step a little farther with that and say that let's not have marketing of video games on video game websites, on video game journaling websites. If there is advertising on these sites, then the site itself needs to excuse themselves from reviewing the game. Yes, this is going to hurt a little bit, but I don't think game journalism and marketing of games should go hand in hand, and that's what's happening a lot, and it sucks, and it needs to stop. If you're going to have an advertisement for a game, then you need to say somewhere, and a lot of sites are actually starting to develop and saying, well, we've been paid for this game to give a game review, but we've said that we're going to do negatives and positives, and which is a good thing, but at the same time, if you're getting paid by a company, if you're getting paid by especially like a games company, a publisher, and they're providing advertising for your site, and they're actually paying advertising for your site, you need to be like, the company has to be aware that there might be a bad publicity. There is thing. A lot of times it needs to go like that. If you're gonna review a game, don't have advertising on the sites. And like I said, if this movement would have started back then, when those two things happened, I would totally be on board and say yes, there is a corruption in game journalism, and I think it goes both sides. And the last thing I want to talk about was what before you criticize writing, read it. Before you criticize a comment, hear the original. Before you criticize a game, play it. And that's more to do with life. If somebody's going to say something before you even, because I've noticed a lot of people will just attack what is being said. If somebody just puts it on like a message board or something saying, oh, this person says it, and everybody starts attacking and don't get context, don't get anything. And that's what's being said here. If you're If you're gonna read a review, read it. Don't just start attacking it. If you're gonna see comments, look at the comments around it. See why it was being brought up in the first place, and see the context of it. If you're gonna say a game is bad, play the game first. Everybody knows I don't like first-person shooters, but I would not come out and say that Call of Duty is a bad game because I've never played a Call of Duty game. Yes, I have never played a Call of Duty game. I've played first-person shooters. I've got Borderlands on my laptop, and I've got Left 4 Dead 2 on my laptop. But I'm pretty bad at first-person shooters. I played Doom back in the day, and I was actually pretty good with Doom. Don't know why, but I was. Maybe it's something I lost along the way, but it is here's the thing. If you're gonna say smack about something, at least play it. There's plenty, like, I do a live stream on Tuesdays where I do new games, a random game. And most of the time I'm playing games I haven't played before. They're on my laptop, I've never played them, and I'm just going to start playing them, and I have no context. I played Costume Quest 2 I never even played the first Costume Quest, and I just seen it was a good holiday one, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to play this game. So I played the game, and I'm like, this looks like a lot of South Park Stick of Truth. And I know that this game was in production long before South Park, because I guess the original Costume Quest was the same thing. But, there's a lot of games that I'd rather try and play them instead of trying to go on Steam and see all the user reviews saying, oh, this game is bad, this game is like the worst, and blah blah blah. Play a game. Play it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you're gonna comment about something, make sure you know what you're talking about. You have context. And if you're gonna take a quote of mine, especially of mine, out of context, please keep the context in there and everything. But I'm running long on here, and it's probably boring just seeing me just sit here and talking and stuff like that. Maybe next time I'll provide gameplay as I'm doing this. I don't know. This is it. I'm learning a lot, and I'm doing a lot with this, so I'm still learning, and we'll see how it goes. But for now, I will say it's time to close this world, and let's open the next.